Welcome back to my channel. Much I dislike the characters, but I don't even want to get into it. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ivana if you're new here, and today I am filming a 12-hour readathon. Yeah. Honestly, I wanted to do 24 hours, but I don't think I have the stamina for that yet. So Annie and I were discussing and we decided let's start at 12 hours and maybe throughout the summer we can work our way up to a full 24-hour sprint. But today I have a couple books that I hope to finish, start, or get through entirely. I think this is a bit of an ambitious pile that I have on my lap here, but we will see what happens. My reading pace has slowed over the last year and a bit because I haven't been reading as much. So I honestly don't think I'm going to be able to get through half of this pile, but I have it just in case I find myself flying through the books. The first book is One Golden Summer by Carly Fortune. I've actually been reading this. I think this book has appeared in at least 3 vlogs, so two vlogs plus this one. So yeah, I'm enjoying it, and I'm also about halfway through. I think I should be able to finish this within the next few hours. So this is at the top of the list. This is the first book I will be reading. The next book I actually picked up yesterday, and I am so excited that Kelly Armstrong came out with a new YA book. This one's a bit more of like a thriller, and Kelly Armstrong just has such a sensational writing style. Her books I fly through, so this is perfect for a reading vlog because I feel like I can sit down and actually devour this. She just has a way of writing that keeps you on the edge of your seat, and that's kind of what you need when you are trying to read as many books as possible in an extended period of time. And then I have 3 other books. One of them I actually have been reading for a little while. I just haven't finished it yet, and I'm more than halfway through, so this is a book I might pick up towards the tail end if I finish the other 2 books, just so that I can check it off of my list of books that I've read. The other 2 books that I have here, we have Nothing Like the Movies, which I read the first book about a week ago and loved it, so I would be really thrilled to read this, but I just don't think this is a book that I would get super into now, and I might want to save this for next week. And then I also picked up my first Emily Henry book, Book Lovers, and I was just drawn in by the premise. Honestly, I love a book that is based on people who read a lot, who are in publishing. I don't know, there's just something exciting about reading about book lovers as a book lover myself. So those are the books that I plan on getting through, or I guess will keep me company because I probably won't get through all of them during this reading vlog, but the timer is going to begin pretty soon. I'm gonna let Annie do her own little intro for you guys, and then we're gonna get started. Okay, Annie's gonna tell you about the books that she's reading for the readathon.
Okay, so this is my first book. I'm almost done it actually. I only have like this much left, so I'm gonna finish it, and then this is the book that Ivana, out of the kindness of her heart, brought me to read.
Back in April.
Like in April, and then all of a sudden, I was falling into a reading slump. So we will get into it. I'm actually very excited. I even put one of my nicer books in it. And then this one is technically a reread, but a friend of mine has been trying to get me to finish the series because I only read up until the 4th book and there's 8. So I'm hoping that if I start reading it, then it'll jumpstart the urge to finish. And then there's one more book, but it's an ebook. It's on my phone. The name will come to me after, but it's how on my list, yeah. That's what I've got going on.
All right. And for some reason, I don't know why we have this many books for literally 12 hours, but we're hopeful.
You know, anything, my goal is 3 books.
Okay.
I feel like that's doable, isn't it?
I feel like a book and a, well, because I'm already halfway through a book.
That's true.
So and my reading pace is a bit slower these days. So I think I could finish a book and then I'll finish, like I can finish this and I can probably start and finish another book if I'm really focused. So it's like, let's say a book and a half. That's what the expectation is for me. I realized I didn't even tell you guys what this book is about before I started reading it. But this is basically following our main character, Alice Everly. Her grandmother gets injured and she ends up taking her to the lake house of a friend of her grandparents' friend that she spent the summer at when she was 17. And she's like into photography and everything. And that summer of 17 is when her love of photography kind of took off. She took a photo of these 3 kids on a boat and that kind of set her career in motion. And one of the kids on that boat happens to actually be back at this lake, and it's like several years later. And they kind of are forming a budding friendship that is obviously bordering on more than friendship. But we're at a point in the story where like some of the things that Charlie Florek, who was one of the kids on the boat, one of the things he's been like hinting at but hasn't explicitly stated is kind of like being revealed. And I had a feeling, like this isn't a surprise to me, but I gasped anyways. When I read it, I was like, oh my gosh. Like I kind of had a feeling that something was up, but I wasn't really sure like what that thing was. So it's gonna keep reading.
I'm missing people I've never met. There's things in this town I'd rather forget, but I just keep on moving. There's no point in losing.
Okay, I am down my first hour of reading. Maybe I should have checked where I started because I didn't check my page number, so I actually don't know how much I read, but I know I've gone through a couple of chapters and things are really getting like deeper, more intricate. Sorry, my notifications are on and they're gonna stay on, so just ignore that. But yeah, I'm like thoroughly enjoying this read. I feel like I would have loved to read this on a lake or a beach and just like bake in the sun. Like that just feels like the kind of read this is, but I'm enjoying reading it with the windows propped open and like on the floor of my reading room as well. So yeah, we're getting into hour 2. I'm also a little hungry, like my stomach has been growling, so I might branch off to make something quick at some point and then bring it back up and like eat as I'm reading. But I also want to like make some serious progress with this book in the first 3 hours of this reading vlog. So I'm like, should I eat now? Should I wait? Like, I don't know. We'll see.
I just keep refusing. Oh,
1 hour mark, I've officially finished this book. And I started the second one, but I only wanted to read chapter 1, which I already did. So we're putting it to the side, and I'm starting Where Sleeping Girls Lie, which I'm very excited for. Thank God.
Oh, I just keep on proving nothing is quite true and everything is fluid.
I'm like eating my chocolate and I just read like the biggest bombshell. Like, yo, what? Do you know what frustrates me? Like what actually gets on my nerves? When characters, and like people do this in real life, they say, oh, but you were just 20. And I'm like, if you're 20 years old, like you are old enough to make thoughtful decisions. Like if you made a bad decision, just own up to the fact that it was a bad decision. Stop blaming it on your age. Like I feel like you hear this from like politicians when a scandal breaks out, like, oh, but he was young, like you were 21, you were 22, you were an adult and you still made the decision. Just say you made an inappropriate and a bad decision and like own up to it. I don't know, it gets on my absolute nerve. And I feel like that's what I'm hearing here. Like, you were just 20. Like, you were just 20. Your brain works at the age of 20. It works perfectly fine. Like, I'm so shocked by what I'm reading. I'm not even gonna lie. We are going to make this a very quick update. We are at hour 3 of the 12 and I'm on page 279, chapter 41. This is about how much I have left to read. So I need to finish this book in the hour. I didn't read a lot in my second hour because Annie and I were catching up. And I also went to get something to eat because my stomach was growling. But now that we're like getting into the groove of things, I'm like, okay, we need to lock in and finish this book. I'm enjoying it, but I'm also ready for it to wrap up. So yeah, that's where I'm at. But
I'm not what you wanted. I've been through this before. I tried to muddy waters. I'm not what you wanted. I've been through this before.
yo, kids will say whatever. Like, they literally don't care. Honestly, I looked at the amount of pages I had and I said, yeah, the author is definitely going to throw us for some type of loop because they're going to feel like things are too good. You're enjoying too much. You're kicking your feet. You're smiling. And that's unacceptable. That's what authors say. They say that's unacceptable. They see you happy. They steal your joy. Because what? Now, if I turn the page and find out we have lost a member, I'm done. It's over.
It's always easy the first way around. I told you I'd never let you down.
Guys, I finally finished reading One Golden Summer by Carly Fortune and I thoroughly enjoyed this read. It felt very refreshing and very summery, but it also had heavier elements, and this story kind of just reminded me that you can never be too old to come of age. I feel like the main character, Alice Everly, was still really discovering who she was despite the fact that she turned 33. And I think that's really beautiful. Like, you grow older and like you learn new things about yourself, and sometimes you let go of old habits and you pick up new ones, and you are at the end of the day constantly becoming as a person. And I think this story really captured the essence of that. And then also, like with Charlie Florrick's story, like it was beautiful to watch him kind of break out of the image that he had of himself, which, you know, behind the arrogance and the cockiness was not the greatest. Like, he definitely had a very self-deprecating air about him, and it was so lovely to see like Alice kind of break that off of him and help him see the beauty of who he truly was. And I feel like the fact that she's a photographer and she, you know, captures the essence and the vulnerabilities of people really kind of worked as an extended metaphor in this story, as throughout the summer she's like constantly capturing images of Charlie, and at some point he gets to see how she sees him and see how he sees her, which I loved. But I'm probably gonna rate this book like a 4-star because I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good time, and I'm going to move on to my next book. I actually think I'm going to continue reading this, and then maybe like in the next hour and a half, if I don't finish it, I'm going to move on to another book. But I do want to try and put some space between the beginning and the end, I just want to read and finish this book, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Also, I don't know if you can really see, this is what my timer is saying. We have about 7 hours left of reading, 6 hours, 58 minutes. I'm gonna put this rating into my Goodreads and then I'm gonna move on to my next book. Also, one thing about me is I will start a book and like literally abandon it. Like, I have 2 books on my Goodreads current reading that I have not been reading, so. And then I forgot to log this. I think I started reading this last week.
You're meant for me. You I adore.
Love it. Kind of faint, but you can make out like a lake. I feel like I almost forgot how much I dislike the characters in this book, especially the main character. I feel like she has a lot going on mentally, and her refusal to address it is so prickly, like prickly for the people around her. Every action, everything she says, it's selfish and it's harmful and it's frustrating to read. Like, I understand non-perfect characters 100%, and like that's what makes a character interesting and complex. She is so flawed, she's pissing me off, and I can't even root for her. Like, I don't really like her at all, to be honest. I'm just like, girl, get it together, you know? And I'm just like seeing the ways that she's hurting her mom, she's hurting Jalen, and like she jumps to conclusions all the time, and it's so frustrating for me to read. I'm just like,
A destiny that I have searched for. You're meant for me.
Alright, I just finished What She Missed, and I have a lot of thoughts about this book, but I don't even want to get into it right now, to be honest. I am... How many hours am I into this? I've not been doing my proper check-ins, but currently at 3 hours and 36 minutes, and I'm actually going to pause the timer because I want to go and eat, and I don't want to read while I'm eating. I feel like I've been reading all day, which technically I have been, but yeah. I think I'm gonna sit on this and come back with a rating after I am fed, so. And Annie also has gone for dinner, so I think she's reading though, but. Okay, so I finished What She Missed, and then I took a more than hour-long hiatus from reading, so I'm gonna turn my timer back on. I have 3 hours 36 minutes left to read, and it's 10:18. Honestly, I'm really tired, and I'm not really sure how much reading that I can do sustainably, so I'm happy that I have a bit of a genre change here, because I've read romance, I've read more so of like a realistic fiction type book that was honestly such a trip for me. We'll get into that when I wrap this reading vlog up, but for now I'm going to be picking up The Masked Truth, which is, I don't know if this is like supposed to be like a thriller slasher, but I'm excited for it. Let me get this sticker off. Like, can someone explain to me why it's so difficult to get stickers off sometimes? I mean, I appreciate the Canadian author identification, but anyways, I am super excited to get into this, and yeah, let's start the timer. Not even 10 pages into the story and commotion is happening. Honestly, with Kelly Armstrong, first 5 pages, you already got an incident. Oh my goodness. Things are happening. Okay, hello everybody. It is Sunday and we are picking up where we left off yesterday, which is with 2 hours left in my reading challenge. Annie has already started her reading for today. We kind of started a little later because of church, but I'm ready to get settled in and try and get through a significant portion of the book I started yesterday, which is called The Masked Truth. I thought that this was a new release, but I realized that it was just a republication of a book she published in 2015. So with my last 2 hours, hopefully I can put a sizable dent in this book, but I'm gonna bring you guys along as usual, and I'll try and keep you updated as much as possible. We are witnessing a hostage situation, guys. Like, literally. literally, there has been no rest in this reading so far. Everywhere we turn, there is somebody with a weapon and they're fighting somebody. Like, okay guys, we are officially on the last hour. I have read up to page 42 and honestly I can't even say much has happened. Like, not that much hasn't happened, but we're in a hostage situation. Like, there's not really much to say other than these kids are being held hostage at a therapy camp. So we're just gonna keep reading. The nice thing about this is it's kind of a fast read. Like, I feel like I'm flying through the pages. So that's something, I guess. We did it, Joe. That's how I'm feeling having finished this 12-hour readathon. Honestly, it was a journey, and obviously I didn't finish the 12 hours in one day because by the 10th hour I was honestly delirious, but we got through the 12 hours as a whole, and that's what matters. I'm gonna just quickly walk you through the books that I read and give like a brief comment, or as brief as I can be, starting with One Golden Summer by Carly Fortune. I feel like I spent the most time with this book and commentating on this story, so there isn't really much else to say other than I enjoyed it. I liked the way that it addressed the topics that it did, and I felt very, I don't know, like warm-weathered and summery reading this book. It made me want to sit by a lake and like enjoy my youth, if that makes sense. And I ended up giving this book a 4-star rating, which I think is still very justified. So that was my first book. The second book is a book that I was already halfway through and I needed to finish, and that is What She Missed by Liara Tamani. Honestly, I was kind of stunned by the direction this book took. It has a very, very brief synopsis, and it doesn't really tell you what's going to happen in the story. So I was really caught off guard when it took a very dark plunge into a world of mental illness and maybe something even beyond that. I'm not sure if anyone here has read Bessie Head's Question of Power, but I remember reading that book and feeling like I was having a psychotic break with the main character, and this book in many respects felt like that, and there was really no warning. Like, I kind of just was thrust into that. I thought this was going to be a story that was just deeply reflective, that kind of talked about, you know, depression and a character who is trying to find herself again, but it definitely felt a lot more raw and peeled back, and that's not a bad thing. I think the author wrote the book in an exceptional way, but I just wasn't prepared, and I don't even know what else to say about that. I don't know if I loved the story, to be honest. I think the writing is beautiful, and I would probably give this like a 3.5 star, 3.25. I'm still thinking about the rating, but I'll update it on my Goodreads and my story graph eventually. And then the last book, which is a book that I'm actually still reading, I'm about 70 pages in, is The Masked Truth by Kelly Armstrong. I was really excited to read this. Very different genre from what I'd been reading. Thus far, I'm entertained, but I feel like if we keep going in this direction where they're just running from the captors, which is what they're doing in the story right now, I'm gonna get bored very quickly. Obviously, this is not like a small book. It's, I think, oh, actually it is a bit small. Okay, I thought it was over 400 pages. It's under 400, so we will see how I feel about it. Follow me on my TikTok if you want to hear my final thoughts, because I'll probably post a review there. But as of right now, it's pretty decent. There are some characters that are incredibly annoying and I would like to get rid of, but also that sounds kind of terrible considering the circumstances of the text, which is that they're being held hostage at a therapy camp. So I don't want to wish anyone ill. Would never do that, but very annoying people in this book. And yeah, I can't really gauge what my rating is going to be, but already it's not one of my favorite Armstrong books. Like there are other books that I've picked up and I've loved immediately and I feel like this is entertaining, but maybe just not my cup of tea as much as other Kelly Armstrongs, if that makes sense. But yeah, those are the books that I've read. Thank you guys so much for coming along with me. I'll probably check in with Annie later today to get her thoughts as well. But you guys should check out her video because we'll probably be posting around the same time and you can get her side of the 12-hour readathon. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, you should stick around, join my family here on YouTube, and you should also hit that like button because why not? So anyways, bye guys.